There are just 2 days left of 2018, and while some of you may have New Year's bashes to look forward to, there is only one thing on our agenda. That's right, the opening of the January transfer window. It was a busy month last time out with some big name movers, and more of the same is expected in the coming weeks. Is there anywhere for Liverpool to strengthen as they sit pretty at the top? How can Manchester City and Tottenham claw back the leaders? And what do Manchester United, Arsenal and Chelsea need to make the top 4? We will have all the latest gossip, rumours and done deals right here. Key EventsDeclan Rice extends West Ham contract 18-17 Hazard playing waiting GAME 905 German giants eye up Hudson-Odoi Borrusia Dortmund want another young English starlet, but their big rivals do too. Chelsea's Callum Hudson-Odoi is attracting the Germans' interest with Bayern Munich now joining the race. The attacking midfielder has already been the subject of an ambitious £13.5 million bid, Sky Sport claim. The Blues have knocked it back and aren't keen to sell.Ginnelly as Preston's tonic former Burnley man Josh Ginnelly is set to join Preston the moment the transfer window opens. Walsall's winger has agreed a deal with the Championship club. Manager Dean Keates told the Express and Star. We've had a concrete bid, it's all been accepted, everything's in place, and he will join the club he is going to, as of January 1. (22-21) Batshuayi offered to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have reportedly been offered the chance to sign Michy Batshuayi, but they've said no. Palace are looking for a new striker and Het Laatste Nieuws via Sport Witnes suggest the Belgian would move to Selhurst Park. The forward is currently on loan at Valencia, but the Spanish side want to cut the deal short. But the bat isn't right for the Eagles. Roy Hodgson has decided Solanke is a striker in demand. The race is on to sign Liverpool striker Dominic Solanke in January. Brighton and Hove Albion are considering a permanent bid in the transfer window. Steve Gerrard is also keen to bring him to Rangers, but it would have to be a loan deal. Huddersfield and Crystal Palace are also look at the 21-year-old. 2115 Lambert wants Boro pair. IPSWICH Town are waiting to hear if Middlesbrough will loan Rudy Gestede and Grant Leadbitter. Tractor Boys boss Paul Lambert would happily take both to Portman Road, but it is still unclear if Teessider's chief Tony Pulis will sanction the temporary switch. Boro do have a long-standing interest in Ipswich defender Jonas Knudsen, and that may play a part in pushing any deal over the line. Middlesbrough do have other players they will loan and are hoping there is interest in Britt Assombalonga, while Ashley Fletcher is another who could leave with Hull City hoping to be in the mix for his services. Ipswich Town are waiting to hear if Middlesbrough will loan Rudy Gestede and Grant Leadbitter. 17:34 Cardiff close in on Clyne Cardiff, are confident of winning the race to sign Liverpool defender Nathaniel Clyne on loan. The 27-year-old has been back on the scene at Anfield in recent weeks, but will move down the pecking order again when Joe Gomez returns to fitness. Fulham and Leicester have also shown an interest in taking the right back next month. But Bluebirds boss Neil Warnock is hopeful that his past association with Clyne, the pair worked together at Crystal Palace, will give him the edge. Warnock handed Clyne his debut at Selhurst Park and he will go straight into the starting lineup at Cardiff. $16.24 Roof for Newcastle. Rafa Benitez is considering a move for Leeds striker Kemar Roof if funds for new signings are made available to him. The 25-year-old has scored 13 goals in 18 games for the Championship promotion Chasers. And Toon boss Benitez knows he'd bring the firepower he is looking to add at St James Park. Leeds, however, are well aware that Roof's goals will be vital to them if they want to reach the Premier League. Although a good offer will at least give them a decision to make. Roof cost Leeds £3 million when he joined from Oxford in 2016, but that deal has proved to be a bargain. $15.39 No replacement for Fernandinho. Manchester City have no plans to sign a replacement for Fernandinho. The Brazilian has missed both of City's last two matches, defeats to Palace and Leicester. But Pep Guardiola insists there is nobody out there like the Brazilian. 1517 Terriers. Non-league star Huddersfield Town are set to win the race for Leyton Orient starlet Joshua Karoma. The 20-year-old has come through the youth ranks at Portman Road and is highly regarded. He was being tracked by Aston Villa, Derby, and Middlesbrough, but the Terriers are now in pole position to hand him a dream move to the Premier League. $14.45 Watford youngster on the move. Watford winger Randell Williams is being lined up for a January switch. The 21-year-old has been on loan in League One Wycombe Wanderers and has impressed for Gareth Ainsworth's side. Watford are ready to let Williams leave, and Wycombe would like to keep him on a permanent basis, but there is big interest for him elsewhere. Brentford, Bristol City and Portsmouth are all believed to have spoken to Watford about a potential deal for the former Crystal Palace wide man. $1,400 Tosun set to stay. Cenk Tosun is unlikely to return to Turkey in January. The striker has had a frustrating time at Everton this season, having arrived from Besiktas in January. Fenerbahce are said to be keen on a loan deal, but Tosun wants to prove himself in the Premier League. 1358 Villa recall Elphick. Tommy Elphick is heading back to Villa. The former Bournemouth defender had been on loan at Hull. But he is moving back to Villa Park as they look to solve their defensive crisis. (1332) face on iron blow. Newcastle could be about to admit defeat in their pursuit of Miguel Almiron. The Paraguayan has been linked with a move to Newcastle for some time amid reports a £15 million deal had been struck. But Atlanta are looking for closer to £30 million for the player, and Rafa Benitez does not have the funds to pay that sum. (1301) Latest on Modric. Croatia star Luka Modric has turned down an offer of a new contract at Real Madrid as he looks to make his exit from the club, writes Telemadrid. The Ballon d'Or winner has been strongly linked with Serie A side Inter Milan, with his contract due to run out in 2020. Inter were keen on bringing the World Cup Golden Ball winner to the San Siro in the summer, but were unable to strike a deal. Modric is among a number of stars seeking moves away from the club, as Madrid have struggled with form since the departure of Zinedine Zidane. (1219) Diaz on the move. Manchester City youngster Brahim Diaz is closing in on a move to Real Madrid. The 19-year-old is out of contract in the summer and shows no sign of signing a new deal. Real are eager to snap him up in January, though, and are reportedly ready to make a £15 million bid. (1140) No Reds deal for Pulisic. Liverpool are unlikely to make a move for Christian Pulisic. The Dortmund star continues to be linked with a move to Anfield, with Chelsea also interested. Reports this week said the Reds were lining up a £45 million bid, but the Liverpool Echo reports they are wide of the mark. (1119) Cahill to Villa. Unlikely Championship side Aston Villa will no longer be making a move for Chelsea's Gary Cahill, The Telegraph reports. Chelsea are ready to let Cahill leave the club in the January transfer window and have held talks with Villa about a potential loan deal. However, a deal for the 33-year-old centre-back now looks unlikely because of the cost involved. Bringing Cahill back to Villa Park would be an expensive proposition, with a 6-month deal alone costing up to £4 million, including his wages and a loan fee. (110510) Players out of contract this summer. Premier League clubs will have their January transfer plans drawn up as they look to boost their hopes for the remainder of the season. But transfer chiefs will also have one eye on next summer, with targets likely on the agenda. There will be a host of sides eyeing bargain deals, or even considering players who will be free agents by the end of the season. While Premier League sides are unable to reach pre-contract agreements with stars currently playing in England, they can do so with those on the continent. With that in mind, here are 10 players who could agree moves to your club in January. (10:26) Shelvey going nowhere. Rafa Benitez has no plans to let Jonjo Shelvey leave Newcastle in January. Reports suggested Fulham were keen on the midfielder, who has fallen out of favour recently. But asked if he would consider selling Shelvey, Benitez said, "No. No chance. He's an important player for us." (9:42) Blues in for Lozano. Chelsea are reportedly weighing up a move for PSV winger Hirving Lozano. The 23-year-old continues to catch the eye in Holland with a host of clubs thought to be keen. And Chelsea are now credited with having an interest should they not pursue a deal for Christian Pulisic. (9:15) Premier League pair consider youngster. Arsenal and Leicester are reportedly watching Nigerian youngster Samuel Chukwueze. The teenager has broken into the Villarreal first team this season, scoring 4 times. Reports in his homeland suggest that 2 Premier League clubs and Atletico Madrid are monitoring his progress. (8:48) Pirlo hails Ramsey. Andrea Pirlo believes Aaron Ramsey would be a huge hit at Juventus. The Welshman is free to talk to foreign clubs in January with his Arsenal contract up this summer. Reports in Italy suggest Juve are working on a deal and Pirlo is a big fan. 08:32 Latest on Rabiot. Liverpool could reignite their interest in Adrien Rabiot with PSG eager to cash in on the Frenchman in January. Rabiot has been banished by boss Thomas Tuchel after failing to sign a new contract with the League One leaders. The midfielder's last appearance came as a substitute in the win over Red Star earlier this month. Reports emerged recently that he had already agreed to join Barcelona on a free transfer when his current deal expires at the end of the season. But PSG are not willing to let the player dictate his future and are now looking to offload him in January. Tuchel has now banned Rabiot from the PSG dressing room on match days, with club president Nasser Al-Khelaifi and other club officials also shunning him, reports Paris United. (7:48) Solanke heading for Selhurst. Dominic Solanke is set to make a decision over his Liverpool future in the next 48 hours. Solanke has barely featured this term and is wanted on loan by Crystal Palace. The Eagles need goals to boost their survival chances, and Solanke would likely get the minutes he needs at Selhurst Park. (7:46) Bayern I. Hudson-Odoi. Bayern Munich are reportedly ready to make a bid for Chelsea youngster Callum Hudson-Odoi. The speedy winger is highly rated at Stamford Bridge, but is only featured briefly in cup competitions this term. The Mail reports Bayern are readying a £13 million offer to try and lure him to Germany. £7.25 Reyes to return. Unai Emery could take Jose Antonio Reyes back to Arsenal. The Spaniard spent 3 years in North London as a player and is currently plying his trade in China. But Estadio Deportivo reports Emery could offer Reyes a return to the club as a coach. $7.22 Ed Woodward reveals he's received job applications from top managers in football. Unai Emery has admitted Mohamed Salah was a consideration during his time at Paris Saint-Germain, but that the French giants looked elsewhere because they doubted he could succeed at a top club. The Arsenal boss remembers Salah emerging as a potential target during the Egyptians' time at Roma. And the Spaniard, who must stop Salah this weekend, has candidly admitted he was wrong and that he is now a top 5 player in the world. Emery said, "We spoke about the possibility to sign Salah to Paris Saint-Germain when he was playing at Roma. We had some doubts, and then he signed for Liverpool, and these doubts he has broken at Liverpool." Now, if you are speaking about the 5 top players in the world, one is Salah. $5.41 Arsenal on the verge of signing Ever Banega after his agent flies to London. Arsenal are on the verge of completing an £18 million deal to sign Ever Banega, according to reports from Spain. The Sevilla midfielder's agent is believed to be in London ready to thrash out a deal to reunite his client with his former boss Unai Emery. The Gunners are keen to add experience to their ranks and are in the market for a new midfielder as they prepare for Aaron Ramsey's exit at the end of the season. Emery knows Banega, 30, well from his time in Spain, and the midfielder would only set the Gunners back his £18 million release clause. $1.58 Emery explains why he turned down chance to sign Salah. Unai Emery has admitted Mohamed Salah was a consideration during his time at Paris Saint-Germain, but that the French giants looked elsewhere because they doubted he could succeed at a top club. The Arsenal boss remembers Salah emerging as a potential target during the Egyptians' time at Roma. And the Spaniard, who must stop Salah this weekend, has candidly admitted he was wrong and that he is now a top 5 player in the world. Emery said, "We spoke about the possibility to sign Salah to Paris Saint-Germain when he was playing at Roma. We had some doubts, and then he signed for Liverpool, and these doubts he has broken at Liverpool." Now, if you are speaking about the 5 top players in the world, one is Salah.